What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on Get Up, they're going to be talking about LeBron James and how he's now the all-time NBA scorer. So let's see what they have to say about that.
I mean, Jalen, like so many others, I mean, you fulfilled a lifelong dream from the time you were a little kid of someday playing in the NBA, and it has been your life in so many different ways since that time. How would you describe the meaning of what we saw from LeBron James and that record changing hands last night?
Huge. Props out to LeBron James. I got to give credit where credit's due.
It's arguably, other than winning championships, it's arguably like the greatest feat one individual can accomplish. Because
yeah, I agree.
On every level, regardless of your skill set, and Monica, you know this, the thing that people always pay attention to is who scored the most points. And when you're trying to get young people to fall in love with the basketball, two things happen when you walk into a gym. You dribble the ball and you shoot the ball. The hardest thing to do is to consistently put that basketball in the hoop with accuracy, with consistency. And for LeBron James to be able to do it over a 20-year period, I was just looking at the first basket he ever scored in the NBA. He was coming off screens at that time of his career, did a fade, and knocked down a jumper. He don't even play like that anymore at all, in any way, shape, or form. So to watch his game grow and evolve, to be able to shoot one-leg jump shots, to be able to turn over both shoulders in the post, to be able to shoot pull-up jumpers off from three, to be able to shoot off the catch. And then, by the way, when he turns the corner and he puts those burly shoulders into you, people are bouncing off of him like bumper cars. Still at this point of his career, I still got some bruises from bumping off of those shoulders when he was young, when he scored 55 points early in his career against the Toronto Raptors when I played for that team. So for his longevity, for his durability, for his consistency, his versatility, when you start talking about the most versatile players of all time, Wilt Chamberlain is the only guy to ever lead the league in points, rebounds, and assists. We know about the Big O and his triple-doubles, and Magic Johnson come to mind. But in the modern era, LeBron James has proven to be the most versatile player of his generation, and that's so very fun.
I would say of his direct generation and his direct era. And that kind of overlaps with Kobe, so I'm saying specifically just LeBron James' era in his class.
What does this mean for the GOAT debate, Jalen Rose? What are you going to tell him all day long?
And this isn't the greatest player of this generation. This isn't the greatest player of the 2000s. And it's a cop-out if you get paid to talk about sports and you're not smart enough to put into context what people did that you didn't necessarily watch play. As somebody that was born in the 70s, I remember collecting basketball cards and trying to track down newspapers and track down information of players that competed before me. And I want everybody to break this down. Greatest of all time. That says greatest of all time. That means the things that you've accomplished are more than the people that you're compared to. And if we're talking about the greatest of all time, I can't ignore some feats of human beings that accomplish things that LeBron just has not individually been able to accomplish yet.
Thank you, Jalen. That's exactly why I like Jalen Rose, because he keeps it real. Keeping it real.
Them is Air Jordan. When we're talking about great players and we said scoring is the greatest metric we can take, let's not ignore the fact that he has 10 scoring titles and LeBron has 1.
Thank you, Jalen. That's exactly why I love you, Jalen Rose. Keeping it real.
Let's not ignore that. Let's not ignore that he has not 1 three-peat, he has 2 three-peats. LeBron has...
And with those three-peats, I think 1 or 2 of those three-peats, he played every single game for those three-peats. That's huge right there for all these guys that want to cry about, I can't play every game throughout the season.
Not been able to accomplish that just yet. Now let's go to the OGs. Let's not ignore the person that was standing on the court last night. LeBron passed his record, but did he pass him of all time? Kareem Abdual-Jabbar? For you guys that don't know, the unstoppable skyhook that landed him winning 6 championships and 6 NBA MVPs, who had the record and only made 1 3-pointer in the history of his career.
So I don't think people understand, excuse me, how huge that is. That man only shot 1 3-pointer in his whole career, and he was still the all-time leading scorer. Only shot 1 3-pointer. Just imagine if he was shooting behind the arc.
That's a level of dominance around the basket that we just had not seen. Now, Bill Russell should not be ignored in this conversation, young whippersnappers. He won 11 championships in 13 years. And I know the video was grainy. And I know y'all want to talk about who he played against. But you're greater against the opponents that you're put in front of. And he had a level of dominance when he played that just has not happened. He's the actual Lord of the Rings, Bill Russell. And so now the conversation gets a little tricky for me after that. Because it's hard for me, it's so very hard for me to ignore the Black Mamba. So you ask me.
There we go, Jalen again, keeping it real. Don't forget about Kobe. Do not forget about Kobe.
What people are going to say when they ask me about the GOAT conversation today, well, I'm in Los Angeles. And that groundswell for Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, to be in this conversation is definitely happening. So for me, the next few people, I'm going to give LeBron James that edge. I'm going to say LeBron James is 4th on that list.
Okay, I can kind of go with that. I go with what you're going.
All-time greats. Can't ignore Magic. Can't ignore Kobe. I can't ignore Tim Duncan. They all deserve to be a part of that conversation, depending on what your flavor of the moment is. But let's not ignore Jordan, Kareem, and Bill Russell. They got the high scores on the video game that ain't nobody taking down. Period.
And again, everyone will sort of weigh in on all these things as they can. I'm going to hold off on the Anthony Davis thing. I do want to ask one very quick question, Jalen, because you're always the person I ask these things to. The basket that set the record last night was scored against Kenrich Williams. Is that the first guy or the last guy you want to be last night? Do you want to be able to say forever, look, he scored the biggest basket, he broke the record against me, or is that the last thing in the world you want us to be the guy he scored it against? Quickly.
Couldn't care less. Could not care less. Well, actually, you don't want to get scored on, but hey, we won though. We won.
So remember, everyone, there's only 4,700 players to ever play in the NBA. Yeah. And so when you go against greatness, it's going to happen against you. Kobe Bryant is going to explode for an 81-point game against somebody. I just happen to be out there.
Jalen had to jump on that before everybody else jumped on him. That's a smooth approach.
I was out there when John Stockton broke the assist record in the NBA. So therefore, you want to be on the court, paying your bills, taking care of your family, chasing your dream, and absolutely you want to be the guy that not only either passed the ball to LeBron, but be the guy that he made the shot on, because that video is going to live forever. And you're going to be sitting around telling your kids, your grandkids, and their kids, look, that's me out there on the floor. And we won.
Exactly. He's going to be on his deathbed talking about LeBron James and yada, yada, yada. Oh, man, that'd be great. That would be great.
I do agree, and Kenrich Williams gets to say we won that game, though, so for whatever that's worth.
Yes, someday he'll tell his grandchildren, we won that game. See that video of Grandpa giving up a bucket there?
But we won.
I'm the opposite. I'd be calling for a double team. I'd be yelling, help!
It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
He's going to score this against someone, but it's not going to be me. Meantime, we got a great doubleheader coming your way tonight. And as long as he says he'd like to keep playing, he could put this record up over 43,000 points.
So I definitely got to give credit where credit's due. I'm happy for LeBron James becoming an all-time scorer. As you guys know, I'm not really a LeBron James fan, but I definitely give credit where credit's due. 38,390 points. That's an amazing feat. So congratulations to LeBron James.
We'll see if it is one that is ever approached in our lifetime. In the meantime, we just need to get a quick explanation of this. The Lakers actually tweeted this. This is the moment the record is being broken. You will actually see LeBron making the shot at the other end of the court. The only person sitting down is Anthony Davis. And of course, Jalen, people on social media will make...
Damn, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That right there, that speaks volumes right there. That kind of reminds me when Peyton Manning was about to win his second Super Bowl, and then Eli Manning was up there in a skybox. He was back there in the back by himself hating, and the camera caught him looking, and he was very displeased with seeing his brother get another ring, so he's matched up with him. So it's just pretty fun. That just reminds me of what AD's behavior.
A very big deal of that and try and understand what we should say about Anthony Davis seeming not to be excited about LeBron James breaking the record last.
That's pure hate, baby. That is pure hate, and it's all on film. I would like to see LeBron James look at this video right here and watch AD, because that's trash right there. You don't do that.
Night. Jalen, should we be making a big deal about that, yes or no?
Yes, Greeny, that's a really big deal, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It's one thing that they lost the game. Anthony Davis, it was a big stage game. He didn't play well. I think he had 13 points, 8 rebounds, maybe 6 in the second half, 2 in the fourth quarter. So he didn't play a great game.
That's a stab in the back by AD. That's a stab in the back. A dirty stab in the back, too.
He's a professional. Of course, he wanted to win. They ended up losing. But there's no way.
You're supposed to be my boy and you're sitting down like that? Man, you're trash. We can't be cool anymore.
On God's green earth, you could be sitting down when the greatest record in the history of basketball is being broken, just as a fan of the game. Now take it a step further. As a player in the game, on both teams, and to drill down even more, one of your teammates, who's LeBron James, who you won a championship with, in that same uniform. It comes off as petty. It comes off as you're hating. It comes off as that you're being jealous of the moment. And when things like that happen, overarching, you feel like, can they continue to play together? And so for me, I don't think that they're going to knee-jerk and probably try to trade AD before Thursday. But that ain't no long-term relationship when your second-best player, Anthony Davis, is purposely not celebrating LeBron James in the moment that the entire world is watching. That is a poor...
And you know everybody's watching you, too. And you still have that type of behavior. That is just pure trash right there.
Poor look on Anthony Davis. And you talked about the guy that LeBron made the shot on. Yeah. How that video is going to live for him as a defender. He's going to be cheered by his family and friends because he was on the court. This is a moment that Anthony Davis ain't going to live down. This is not going to be a good look long term.
That's really well said. Jalen, awesome. We'll see you all day long as the coverage